want to go and look at the class action part of this and kind of get an idea. Where did Joy go? There she is. Get an idea of what's going on here and what we're actually going to be looking at from a class action standpoint, because she might not be the only one to come forward. And I think this is something that a lot of people aren't talking about. Yeah, the fun and interesting thing is, you know, Skip Bayless and Joy Taylor and Shannon Sharp, what they were involved in there. But Fox is mentioned in as the main one in this lawsuit. We got the Fox Corporation, Fox Sports Holding LLC. We've got Fox Sports 1 LLC, Fox Sports 2, Fox Sports Productions. I mean, they got everybody up in this thing. So this class action section is going to be interesting to see if anybody else comes forward, if some of these anonymous employees that she mentioned throughout are going to be a part of this class action. Because, I mean, there were several instances in here where Miss Faraji mentioned that there was an employee having an issue and she's like, hey, I got your back. If anything goes down, I'm going to speak up about it. What are the class action allegations? Plaintiff brings forth this class action on behalf of herself and all others similarly situated pursuant of California Code of Civil Procedure, Section 382. Plaintiff seeks to represent a class defined as follows: all non-exempt hourly individuals who worked for Fox in California during the period commencing 4 years prior to the filing of this complaint. So there's a 4-year window. So anybody during that time, get on in there. Plaintiff further seeks to represent the following subclasses composed of as defined as the following. What do we have? Minimum wages subclass. All class members who were not compensated for all hours worked at all the applicable minimum wage. Overtime wages, same thing. Reimbursement subclass. All class members who were not reimbursed for necessary business expenses. I wonder if that would include anyone who was hired from outside the corporation as well. So if somebody didn't get paid for a job they did, they're in there. Final wages subclass. All class members who, within the applicable limited period, did not timely receive wages that were due and owed upon separation. Severance. So severance wasn't getting paid by Fox. Come on, Fox. Wage statement subclass. Within the applicable limitation period, were not provided with accurate itemized wage statements. Oh, they're going to be looking at everything. All class members at UCL subclass. All class members who are owed restitution as a result of Fox's unlawful, deceptive, and or unfair business acts or practices. So they're going to be looking in the HR department as well. Plaintiff reserves her right under California Rules of Court 3.76 to later amend, modify, limit to particular issues or divide the class and or subclass descriptions. Numerosity. The plaintiff is informed and believes that the members of the class and the subclasses are so numerous that joinder of all members is impractical. While the precise number of the members of the class and subclasses has not been determined at this time, the plaintiff is informed and believes that there are more than 100 class members and more than 100 subclass members for each subclass. Oh my gosh. So 100 overall. Then you've got 6 of these subclasses. So they're saying this class action could include nearly 1,000 people. Oh man. The number of members of class and subclasses will be readily identifiable and locatable through Fox's own employment records. Typicality. Plaintiff claims are typical of the claims of the members of the class and subclasses because she was a non-exempt hourly employee who was not paid for all hours worked, not paid for all overtime wages at her regular rate of pay, which she alluded to before, was not reimbursed for all necessary business expenses, was not timely paid all wages that were due and owed upon separation. Severance didn't get paid. Was not provided an accurate itemized wage statement. Plaintiff seeks recovery for the same damages that were suffered by other members of class and subclasses. Adequacy. The plaintiff will fairly and adequately represent the interests of the class and subclasses. Plaintiff has no conflict of interest with any member of this class or subclasses. Do y'all think she really kept her slate that clean? I mean, shout out to her for having the integrity to make it through this crazy situation unscathed. No conflict of interest. All right, we'll see. Plaintiff has retained competent and experienced counsel in complex class action litigation. Plaintiff and her counsel are committed to vigorously prosecuting this action on behalf of the class. Commonality. The common questions of law and fact exist as to all members of the class and subclasses and predominate over any question solely affecting individuals, members of the class and subclass. Among the questions of law and fact common of the plaintiff and the class and subclasses are as following. Did Fox fail to pay the minimum wage? Did they fail to pay members overtime and double time for all overtime and double time hours worked? Y'all know these companies do not like paying overtime and double time. Did they fail to pay overtime and double time at the regular rate of pay? Did they reimburse class members for the business expenses? Did they timely pay the members their wages due when they separated so people weren't getting checks? Oh, man. Did they fail to provide class members accurate itemized wage statements? I don't think that's as big as a deal, but we'll have to wait and see. And then we got the superiority of the class action. Class action treatment is superior to any alternative to ensure the fair and efficient adjudication of the controversy alleged herein. Such treatment will permit a large number of similarly situated persons to prosecute their common claims in a single forum simultaneously, efficiently, and without duplication of efforts and expense that numerous individual actions would entail. Furthermore, prosecution of separate actions by individual members of each class creates the risk of inconsistent or varying adjudications of these issues presented herein, which in turn would establish incompatible standards of conduct for Fox. Fox is not going to want this nightmare. I mean, I think the lead attorney said they generated 13 some billion last year. And it said it at the beginning of this lawsuit too. They just need to write a check on this class action and make it go away, because digging into all of this for thousands of employees just sounds like the biggest headache in the world. Furthermore, the amounts at stake for many of the members of each class, while substantial, may not be efficient to enable them to maintain separate suits against Fox. No difficulties are likely to be encouraged in the management of this class action that would preclude its maintenance as a class action, and no superior alternative exists for the fair and efficient adjudication of this controversy. All right, so here's the first cause of action: failure to pay minimum wages. We went through this and it gives example. She realleges and incorporates on behalf of herself and the class members each and every paragraph of this claimant as thoughtfully set forth herein. Okay, so they weren't getting paid. And they give a whole details here of what went on. Second cause, failure to pay overtime wages. Sheesh. Based on information and belief, Fox failed to compensate Ms. Farage and class members for all overtime worked. All overtime? Dang. How did they get away with that? To incorporate all non-discretionary remuneration, including but not limited to shift differential pay, bonus pay, multiple base rates of pay. Lord, Fox, come on. Failure to reimburse for business expenses. We all know that's on a case-by-case basis. They can just say, yeah, it's not a business expense. Failure to pay all wages upon separation. That has to do with severance. We've got failure to furnish inaccurate itemized wage statements. So you don't know how much you're paying in Social Security. You're never going to see it anyway. So just forget about it. Unfair, unlawful, or fraudulent business practices. What's this about? Ms. Faraj realleges and incorporates on behalf of herself and class members each and every paragraph of this complaint thoughtfully set forth herein. All right, Ms. Faraji should have applicable statutes of limitations extended to 4 years of the claim seeking restitution. Okay, so that's just to cover everything in the claim. We've got the battery. We know what happened there. We've got hostile work environment. Skip was hugging up on her, trying to feel up on it. So was Mr. Dixon. Hostile work environment. Again, same thing. We've got hostile work environment, disability, failure to prevent harassment. Oh, geez. Negligent supervision, hiring, and retention. Joy Taylor. Retaliation. Wrongful termination in violation of public policy. What's this quote that they have in here? Ms. Faraji engaged in protected activity and immediately experienced an adverse employment action on many occasions. She took medical leave only to have her supervisor cut her hours, she mentioned. She reported a co-worker for screaming, "F you, you Persian bitch," exhibiting erratic behavior. That was Miss M. She reported Miss Taylor's targeting of her based on her race and or nation of origin. She's Iranian and disability PTSD, only to be removed from speak. Yeah, they're done. Wrongful termination. We know Skip had something to do with that. And here's what they're looking for. All right, should be pretty straightforward. Oh man. Plaintiff individually and on behalf of the proposed class and subclasses prays for judgment against Fox as follows. For notice to all non-exempt hourly individuals who worked for Fox in California during the period commencing 4 years prior to the filing of this complaint. For an order certifying this action, compensatory damages in the amount according to proof, liquidated damages in the amount according to proof. Can't imagine what that would be. Restitution, including disgorgement of profits according to proof. All applicable statutory and civil penalties, recoverable pre and post judgment interest, and all reasonable attorney's fees and cost of suit. Of course, they're going to ask for attorney's fees. Injunction and order permanently restraining Fox from engaging in the unlawful wage and hour business practices complained of herein. HR is about to have boy, I would not want to be in HR right now. For such other and further relief as the court deems appropriate and just. Wherefore, the plaintiff individually prays for judgment against the defendant as follows. For compensatory damages in the amount according to proof. Emotional distress damages. This is going to be a tough one, especially since she had PTSD that she was dealing with. She was seeing a therapist. Oh, man. Punitive and other damages. Injunctive relief, including but not limited to directing Fox to take immediate and effective measures to prevent any current or future harassment or retaliation against its workers by Mr. Dixon, Miss Taylor, Mr. Diaz, and Miss Peretti. She didn't mention Skip in there. I guess because Skip loves her. So I don't know what's going to happen there. Maybe her and Skip will end up together at some point. This should include, at minimum, terminating the responsible individuals and conducting more private and comprehensive internal investigations. Oh my gosh. She wants their jobs. Can the judge decide if these people get fired? She wants Mr. Dixon, Joy Taylor, Mr. Diaz, and her former boss to get chopped. For reasonable attorney's fees, of course, for such other and further relief as the court deems appropriate and just. Signed by Rana Ayazi. Wow. What do y'all think about this, man? This class action is going to be a mess for Fox. And especially now seeing that it came out attached to the individual lawsuit. There's no looking past this. So we're going to be talking about this for a while. Let me know what y'all think in the comments and in the chat.